Are you a convicted felon?
Yes, I am, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Two-time.
Two-time convicted felon.
Yeah.
What age were you when you received your first F?
18.
And the second F?
Thing like about to be 25.
And there was another previous interview where you talked about doing 7 years.
No, I take that back. I was 25. Yeah, I was 25.
Okay. There was a previous interview where you talk about being incarcerated for 7 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And was that 7 years total, or was that 7 years as one bid?
7 years, one bid. One bid. Yeah, 7 years and 3 months, one bid.
And that was the 18-year-old.
Yep.
Felony there. And that particular felony, what county was that? What state?
I caught the charge in, I was living in Miami, but I caught it in Palm Beach. So Palm Beach came down to Miami, and they grabbed me from Miami, and they brought me up there. And I did county time up there, and then they dropped the charge, and the feds picked it up, and I went back to Miami.
And the second felony?
The second felony, that was Miami. Well, Broward, really, not Broward. It was Broward.
Having 2 felonies on your record, or a felony on your record, period.
Yeah.
How has this impacted your life and the way you live?
It's tragic. You can't do nothing you can't do nothing with your name straightforward. It's like, even with living, like getting a condo or, you gotta cut corners. Like, it ain't easy, boy. You can't, certain countries you can't go into, it's pretty whack. But, hey man, it's the past. All you can do is make it better,
I do want to shed some light on what it's like living with a felony. And you've mentioned 2 things. The first is housing. You've definitely seen that with your own eyes.
Yeah.
How it can be an impact on housing.
Yep. It's messed up. Nah, especially even if you got the money, you can have the money and the credits. Can't do nothing. They don't want you. I mean, I feel like as far as pedophiles and stuff like that go, they shouldn't be able to do nothing ever in life. But even, if you're not a pedophile and stuff like that, you got the money, you got the credit, why not? You might as well. If you're a resident, you know what I'm saying?
What were the charges that actually stuck in both of your felony cases?
I had a robbery of a firearm, and I had a fraud charge.
And that was the actual order of your felonies?
Yeah, robbery with a firearm first, and fraud later on.
The other topic that you brought up is visiting other countries. Somebody that doesn't have a felony or knows what that feels like, what countries can you not get into because of this record that you have?
For what I know right now, Canada for sure. You can't go to Canada. People used to tell me before I got out that you couldn't go to London, but that's cap. I definitely been to London a few times. No headache.
Okay.
But yeah, Canada, they said it's Canada straight. They ain't not letting you in at all. You gotta have a permission, some shit like that.
So you never even attempted to go to Canada. That's just what you heard.
Nah, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I think that's pretty. It's validated that you can't go.
And it's 2020 as of this interview. Now, what about employment? Have you ever tried to be employed or get employed after the felonies?
Yeah, I had a job. When I first got out, I had a job for like 6 months at a call center. They slipped up. They didn't run my background, so I got in there quick, like, you feel me? And I was there for 6 months. I was tired of it. I was like, man, this shit ain't doing nothing. Just I'm a grown ass man. What can I do with $9.50, $10 an hour? That's cap. So I did it, and I was like, fuck this shit, and I went back to what I know.
When you did get that job, though, were you honest on the job application?
No, yeah, I told him I wasn't a felon, you know, no felon, and I got the job.
And that's how you knew they didn't run a background check, because if they would have run a background check...
Yeah, I wouldn't have been there. Yeah, I wouldn't have been there.
Now, what about higher education? Have you attempted higher education since the felonies?
No, I feel like there's no point.
I
mean, if I do it, it'll be for my own good, you know, my own knowledge of what I want to learn. But it's not going to do me no justice as far as in society.
I have read that a felony can be an issue for people seeking higher education, student loans, and financial aid.
You can't?
I've heard that having a felony, it can be an issue.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't know. I mean, I ain't never tried. So, I mean, I feel like, especially with the charge I got. Is a harsh charge, a violent charge. So it's like they Xing me, and the worst thing, you can't get a gun license. That's the worst part. Need that.
Did you have a license prior to the felony?
No, I was too young. I was 18. You gotta be 21 to get a gun license.
Ah, in the state of Florida.
Oh, other states is different?
Well, I know that every state has their own laws when it comes to guns, so
yeah.
I'm just referencing that it was Florida where you have to be 21 and up.
For sure.
And I don't know if that's a federal law or a state law when it comes to the age for a firearm. I guess I think
it's federal.
I guess I would have to fact check that.
Yes.
But I know when it comes to states, they each have their own laws when it comes to firearms. But when it comes to the age of a firearm, that may be state or federal. I don't know. I'd have to actually fact check. If anybody watching this interview knows the answer to that and knows the facts, please put that down in the comments here as well. But since you've had the felony, you can't even attempt to get a license.
Nope. It sucks.
What about...
I pay whatever. I'd pay whatever to get it.
What about voting rights?
Nah, don't care. Don't care about it. I'm not into politics, man. All that shit's full of baloney. I'm into God. That's it.
Do you know if you even have voting rights or not?
I think I do. In Florida, you do. When you're a felon, you just gotta apply for it.
Anything else you didn't speak on for people watching, wanting to know what it feels like to live with a felony conviction, or was that the bulk of it, what we just spoke on?
I mean, for the most part, yeah, you know, and it's not a good feeling, you know, walking around. When you want to do stuff, when you wake up one day and like, okay, I want to go legit, like I want to be all the way legit and successful. It's not a good feeling. It's like, you might have changed as a person, but society is going to look at you as the day you caught that charge. When they read that, that's the bullshit of it. Like, and you could have the money to get it expunged, but you have to wait a certain amount of years, X amount of years to get it expunged. So it's like, it's bullshit. If you could, you know, if you can dodge it, dodge it. If you ain't, listen, man. This for a lot of people, a lot of young niggas. If you out there running around doing dumb shit and ain't about no money, and you catching free felony for no reason, you an idiot. You ruining your life for no reason. At least my shit was about some money. So, you know what I mean? I'm not glorifying it was still fucked up, but it's a lot of young niggas out there doing dumbass shit just to be cool. They catching these felonies, broke as fuck, ain't getting no money behind it. If you gonna do it, make it worth your while. Don't do it just to catch a felony and ruin your whole life while you already broke. It don't make no sense.
Did you know the magnitude of what it would be like before you received your first F?
Nah, hell nah. I never even thought I'd be in handcuffs. You know, I ain't get caught. I got told on. So it's different.
Have you talked about this in your music?
Yeah, all the time. Most definitely.
Not just being told on, but having a felony, what it's like with a felony, things of that nature.
Yeah, yeah.
When it comes to expungement, what's the status on that with your own personal felonies?
I think they told me I had to wait like 7 years after probation. After I got off probation, you have to do 7 years. I'm off probation now, but 7 years, so that's a long time.
But your charges are able to be expunged. You just have to wait.
Yeah.
Because from what I understand, there are some charges in Florida that cannot be expunged.
Yeah. I think what I've heard is they got certain charges that could be expunged to a certain extent, and then some that could be erased all the way. I don't know. We'll find out.
And if anybody knows the facts on that, drop a comment as well. What did this experience teach you? What did you learn from it? And if what you just said was the answer to that question when you were talking to the young, then that's okay. But if there's anything else you want to add, or maybe you have a different answer, I don't know. What did this experience, this entire experience, the experience of a felony, what did it teach you? What did you learn from it? If anything.
I mean, it made me sharper. It made me care more as far as my actions. You know, when I was younger, I was a product of my environment. I really didn't give two fucks. You know, now I just give one fuck. But before I ain't give two fucks about nothing. Like, I was on whatever. If it made sense to me in my brain and it was a go, and then I seen money at the end of that tunnel, I was going for it. You know what I'm saying? But now I think twice, sometimes 3 times. Certain things I'll do a few years ago when I was, younger and I ain't have no felony, I won't do now, because it's like you can't play. You catch another one, that's double the time you're gonna catch it with you the first time. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it anyways. It's never worth it to sit in jail about some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to eat lobster and steak out here, live life,